And we're live!
It is E3 week 2018.
It is.
We've seen Xbox, we've seen PlayStation, we've seen Bethesda, we've seen Ubisoft, we've seen Square Enix. We're waiting for Nintendo, which I know we have. Ubisoft. Ubisoft.
Boobysoft.
We all be soft.
Boobysoft.
The only one we're missing is Nintendo tomorrow. What are you hoping to see?
Games that I care about?
On Nintendo Switch?
Yeah.
Convince you?
Yeah.
Pokemon, Let's Go, Eevee, Let's Go, Pikachu.
Let's see some more of that. I need to actually re-download Pokemon Go because I haven't been playing since it came out.
I made an investment last week.
Oh
with
my
Pokemon Go
god!
Plus. It is great.
Did.
I drive in my car
it.
and I just press the button and then I look at my activity log on what I caught. It's actually fantastic.
That is great, but it feels like cheating, doesn't it?
Feels still good.
Yeah.
Just grinding.
He's like, watch, look, I pressed this means there's a Pokemon. This means I can catch it. This means it's shaking. This means I caught it. I'm like, great, so then what's the point of playing the game?
You're grinding candies.
Yeah.
I know, but it's like, I'm trying to think of an example of another game that it's like if Lego made a wristband that was like, this button means there's a new set out. This button means you have the set now. This button means it's building. Oh, it's built.
Okay,
But it doesn't exist.
A couple things with that. It's kind of like Amazon Dash buttons, where it's like, boom, there's a new Lego set out, boom, you got it. But also, unpopular opinion, I like the act of having the completed Lego much more than building Lego. Discuss.
Oh man, discuss what? That's the worst thing I've ever heard. It's akin to
Also, I like
sacrilege.
the minifigures more than the set itself.
Oh god.
Well,
man.
I've always been of the mind that I don't actually I'll build the thing, and if it's super cool, I have some Lord of the Rings ones over there that I never took down. In those sets, I won't take them down because I bought them for the visual.
Take them down meaning off your bookshelf,
I built,
destroy them.
Well, destroy them. I built those to be part of my Lord of the Rings collection. However, I have probably an entire bucket of random Legos back at home that were all once sets and are no longer because I like to take things apart and just make my own shit.
I like that. That, but it would be next to impossible to recreate those sets. If you have them all in the bucket, that would take forever to find a piece.
Which is why those are always the sets that I don't care that much about.
That's fair.
So
If you like the thing more than the building of it, why do you buy Legos? Just go buy
the system,
the toy ship.
Huh?
No.
It's not the same.
They make the ship as an action figure set.
It's very much a platform. It's
build.
a system because all the minifigures can lock in and they can grab everything. They can sit wherever.
But they have the toy that has the action figures that can do that too.
But I like the Lego minifigures.
You have to build that.
Yeah.
It's a collector's thing. He likes the Legos and the way that the Lego collectibles look. He just doesn't care about necessarily the building aspect of it.
See, it's really easy to hire someone on Fiverr just to
That's the best
Millennium Falcon. I need you to build this. I'll pay you $5.
It's like the difference between a Pop Funko and a Cos Baby. Some people like one better than the other. It's the same with Lego is just another version of that.
But why aren't you paying me to build your Legos? I didn't know this was an option.
I'm happy. I
would like to enter into this contract.
Just make a profile on Fiverr. I'll build them. That's an act of I built this or whatever. And I guess you get to also build all the little mechanisms, the firing things. You get all the secrets from whatever you're building. But sometimes I'll buy a set. I bought the Infinity War Sanctum Sanctorum. It's 1,044 pieces. And I'm I just wish it was built. I wish I could go to bed. I wish I could wake up and it were right there. Because it's 8 different bags. I made 3 bags, and it took me 2.5 hours last night.
Here's what I think might be the difference between you and I, is I like building it, at least to begin with, because especially for ones I'm going to keep that way, it feels cool to look at that and be yeah, I built that.
I agree.
Yeah.
There's some pride in that.
Yeah.
There's some pride in that.
So weird.
But it's all about the minifigures and the exclusivity. I'm very much the collector of the minifigures, and I like to customize them to make them better. in the way that like I'm a collector of Funko Pops. It's like I gotta have this one. This Anakin only comes in Palpatine's arrest set from 2013. How do I get that?
Julian, don't you remember that when we were first getting to know Derek, one of like the screaming questions he had, whether or not we could all be friends or not, was whether or not we collected the figures or the actual Lego sets, because he wants to collect the figures and everyone else can have the sets.
That's why like we could split the cost 50-50.
Vaguely,
I'll take the figures, you take the sets, everyone's happy.
And if we'd answered any other way, he wouldn't be our friend anymore.
Well, then I'd be like, there's competition. Or we can exchange.
Yeah.
This is the worst. Like, when I'm like hurt by this. This is like new information that I'm like...
Okay, so you like to build the sets as they are. You like to follow the directions. She likes to like have her imagination and like manifest something. And I like to collect the minifigs. I would say that Lego is something for everyone.
I would say that you're wrong. And that I'm in pain right now. Because I don't understand. It's like a chef being like, I like it better when like my meal's just served to me. And it's like, but you're a chef. You're supposed to. Then why did you get the blue apron? I'm losing hold of this metaphor, but like, you know what I mean. Like, I was trying with that one. I lost it.
Yeah,
I'll come back to it.
really
I'll try again. Not right now, but like maybe later. But like, I don't get it. Like the whole point of buying the Lego is because of the construction. Like that's why they sell them, is the construction aspect. So then just go get the ship.
But I understand Dana's aspect of like building something her own, you know? Like they give you pieces, she doesn't want to make it how Lego's made.
Oh yeah, I do that too.
Yeah, right.
But that's still we still have the same thing.
But also,
it's about the building.
The licenses require, like for the Disney licenses, so for Marvel and Star Wars, you can't buy the figures individually, they only can come in sets.
Right.
And so for like all the Lego licenses, or Lego owned and operated IP, like you can just sell the pieces individually, so I'm like, I'll buy those. But the Star Wars
you can just
ones
go
have
on
to be the same.
Amazon and get...
But it's like...
It's actually, they have a marketplace called Bricklink where you can buy individual minifigures, and that's where I operate. Yeah.
And it's in that little niche market that I operate. I'm actually a black market dealer.
Got any more of them figures?
You're like the Walter White of like Lego brick emporiums. Secretly, you're Heisen brick.
I think the only thing I'm missing... Nice. The only thing I'm missing is a blog to showcase them. Because like I'll take the Infinity War thing. I'll be like, here's the Captain America that Lego issued. I'm gonna make it way better, and mine is way better.
I don't know why you don't just start an Instagram then. Like, just make an Instagram. Just start taking pictures of them in like fun poses. Because iPhones have portrait mode now too, so you can make them look like really
portrait mode.
Oh yeah, okay.
But yeah, no, I should do that.
But like really stylish.
I should do that. It's a good ones.
Also, Instagram Story has a portrait mode that you can use, so you could do it that way.
Yeah.
But it's like, damn it, I had it. Hold on. Oh, I was gonna say, in the movie, I didn't mean to hit that table that hard. I mean, I am that angry, but in the movie, is it Emmett? Is that the main character in Lego Movie? He's called the Master Builder, not the Master. I wish this was built for me.
But what is he made out of? Minifigure.
Well, no, but he's a minifigure. But like,
but
like he's the Master Builder, not the Master. It's there.
Master Bader.
But also, isn't the crux of that movie, it's like the dad wanted everything to be built perfectly according to the instructions, and then like the lesson is like, build anything out of anything. Like the kid, just like play with them how you want.
But the debate is not build it perfectly, or like if Dana and I were having a debate, then there'd be a debate of like build it perfectly according to instructions or build what you want.
Yeah.
But the debate right now is build at all. Because you're just like, I wish it's just somebody would make it for me, which to me is
I like having the figures fit into the system, but it's a little tedious to make the entire... Like, if it's 1,000 pieces, it's like, it's going to take me 8 hours. I just wish it was built.
That's the best
part. I have
part.
an idea. Julian can build all of it except for that last piece, and then you can come in and put the last piece on, so that way you can say, technically, I built this.
I get the credit. we co-credit. Yeah.
It's like solving a Rubik's Cube down to the last move and then being like, here, do it.
I mean, you did that for me several times.
I know, it's because, you know.
I don't know how to solve a Rubik's Cube.
I cater to
it's
your
one of
level.
those things that I just never
I think
cared about.
It's odd that you and I both independently learn how to solve. Because I'd say if you survey 1,000 people, I'd say maybe one knows how to solve a Rubik's Cube. Mm-hmm. So it's very uncommon to know how to solve one.
I don't know why I was always obsessed with them, but and then it wasn't later.
Was it Will Smith in Pursuit of Happiness when he solved one for the job
No, I've
interview?
never seen that movie.
Was it
I didn't see that either.
Tyson Mao on Beauty and the Geek by MTV?
No.
Was that your motivator?
That was my, yeah.
But if you're hunting for it.
Yeah.
It was, do you read the books, the Berenstain Bears?
Mm-hmm.
Kids' books?
Mm-hmm.
There was one particular book that was all about them going to the mall. I don't know why I said that like Liam Neeson. Particular set of skills. There was one particular book where they went to a mall and they all like went shopping for different things, and the brother bought a Rubik's Cube. And I get hooked on weird, like I just like weird things. Or hold on, how do I explain this? I like hyper focus on odd things, and in this instance, it wasn't even that the book was that good or the story was that good. I just hyper focused on like every page that had the cube on it. Like I love that page. Like I would just look at the picture.
Did he solve it in the end?
I think I think he did. But that was like my first like the cube. I must have the cube. Yeah, this is my newest like hyper focus. Like I'm just and I'm also realizing now that a lot of things I hyper focus on have rainbow colors. I think that might be a thing. I think I like rainbow colors.
Are you breaking up with me right now?
I think I have something to tell you guys. I'm just kidding.
No, I think.
Or am I?
It is LGBTQ.
I think your Infinity Gauntlet obsession is a quest for power.
I mean, that's not untrue. I do like what it represents in terms of dominating the universe and being the sole tyrant. Leader.
Mm-hmm.
Just said that out
Emperor
I think I'm
of the
rubbing off on
galaxy.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny the other day. Total sidebar, but the other day we were walking by an animal outside, and Dana's like, "Oh, Precious, come here. Do you need love? Do you want me to help you? I could help you. I could touch. Do you want me to touch?" Like she went on this whole thing, and then she looked at me, and like, no, any other person that did this would have been like joking, obviously. Like Dana's eyes told me like sincerely she was asking the question. Did I just say that out loud? Did I just say all that out loud? It's like, yeah.
I believe it. I believe it.
There's a little baby birdie. I just want to hug him and cuddle him and love him forever.
I do like what it represents in terms of like the infinite power.
Yeah.
It's more the visual of it.
It's gorgeous.
I don't know. It's just like, I like the collection of, it represents collecting, right? It's like the most obsessive,
It also
destructive
represents
version of
like
collecting.
10 years of being such a hard fanboy of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like it all accumulates into that one symbol, you know?
I like, here's what it is.
Yeah.
I like things that exist in pairs is the wrong word because that implies two. What would you say, what's the word for like a pair of things, but when there's more than two things? A grouping?
Collection? Yeah.
Like a series or a sequence of things?
Yeah.
I like matching sequences. So like when there's a bunch of things that belong to the same thing, but they're all kind of uniquely different, but they all belong to the same thing. Like when people release singles off of an album and they all have the same style artwork, like they all belong to the same world and they're all designed the same, and then it's the same art like style as the album cover. Like I just have like a weird neurotic like obsession with, so like that the stones are each a different thing and they're each different color, but they all do something different and then they all fit into the big thing. Like
Yeah.
For your birthday, I'm gonna get you a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle
like I'm just like
of the Infinity Gauntlet.
That'd be dope.
that would be really cool.
I feel like that's right down your alley.
You would have really appreciated when I used to multi-box in World of Warcraft. For those of you who don't know what multi-boxing is, I played 3 different World of Warcraft accounts at the same time. So I was able to play 3 different characters at the same time using a keylogger program, which basically when I pressed one button, it pressed for the other 2 games as well.
So are you running into walls like for most of it?
No.
In 2 accounts?
So in World of Warcraft, you can write macros. So like when I pressed a button, I would make the other 2 follow my main character. And then like when I pressed another button, they would all do the same DPS thing. And then like,
that's cool.
I just was able to like...
You're a hive mind.
Yeah. But the reason I'm saying that you would like this, I had a hunter. So in World of Warcraft, for those of you, again, who don't know, a hunter is an archer who also has a pet, which I actually incidentally had lions as all 3 of my hunters' pets, and each one of them were a different color that I collected. And on top of that, they matched the hair color of each of my different hunters because they all had different hair. So one was a brunette, one was a redhead, and one was a blonde. And so the lions matched the hair color of each and every single one. Their armor all had like a specific color set that matched really well with their like.
Are they all females?
Yeah.
It's like this Cerulean City gym.
See, just hearing that like pleases something in me intrinsically.
You would have been very pleased by like their aesthetic.
I just like it's nice. It just makes me feel good. It's like a blanket.
Every single time I passed by, people were like,
Ladies.
Also,
That girl.
why hasn't someone made that for Overwatch so that we could play the other 3 players on the team
Yes.
playing competitive?
Excuse
We just
me?
have a
Dumbass
pocket
teammates.
Mercy following us around.
Excuse me, I tried to get us to all have the same colors. Like we
I
had
got
all,
it. I bought
we all
it.
had to have skins with
No,
the
no,
same
you-
colors, and on top of that, we all had to have the same
You didn't hear the right part of that.
Pachimari.
You didn't hear the right part of that. I mean, I would like us all to have like matching things, but I was saying, why can't we have multi-boxing?
Oh, yeah.
So that the 3 of us could play 3 characters, but then also play the other 3 characters on the team, so that we don't get stuck with dumb teammates.
You mean we would all be playing 2 characters?
Yes, that's the easier.
It
way
would
to
just
say
be
it.
an Insta Mercy.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
like
just have just.
following
There,
us.
there's
Press
no
the
way
button,
you
have it
could.
follow you.
There's no way you could do it in.
I know. It's
What
not.
if you had like
Overwatch.
a boosted controller where you can program a button to toggle from her power up or like boosting to healing?
Actually, you could do it. So what you could do is have one character be like an Oriza or something that's a little bit more stationary, or a Bastion. But then you'd have to have this whole aiming thing wouldn't work. Maybe not.
What if you hired someone on Fiverr to play for you that didn't suck? And just go party
What did you
up.
do in
We
Fiverr
keep coming
tonight?
back to Fiverr tonight. It's a circle.
It's really cheap.
Speaking of games that video,
I was literally about to say that. Let's talk about Bethesda last night, because that's
or
the
E3
only...
at large, but we can start with Bethesda. Go ahead.
First of all, can we talk about how that awkward ass band came out and the entire audience was just like,
That is the most cringeworthy gig for I think
it felt kind of bad for
Bethesda
them.
would be like, "Hey band, we'll pay you $100,000 to perform one song in front of these 2,000 people." They're like, "Great gig."
Yeah.
Everyone didn't know what to make out of it.
Every
it
single
panned to
person
the
was like,
audience, and they
Announce announce Elder Scrolls 6. We don't
Fallout
care.
76,
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Now let me ask you this: do you think that the awkwardness of it
Mm-hmm.
was because of the band just being cringy or cheesy inherently?
Yes.
Or do you think it was that they came on stage and there wasn't really a lot of context to their introduction, and so the audience's
It's both.
reaction created the awkward?
They knew it was
It's
Rage though. Like they had branding on it. Like Rage 2 had already been leaked earlier this week. I think they're just like,
So you think a better band would have made
I
that
think it's the
different?
wrong
If
audience.
Muse had come out, that would have been way different. But also,
Do you
everyone... Yeah. Well,
I
yeah.
I think it's the wrong audience.
I think it's the wrong audience. The audience looked. I mean, I think it's a little both, but the audience looked really not into
Blizzard
anything that
fans
was
didn't
happening.
seem to have an issue with Muse.
I saw a video in 2010 of Taylor Swift performing this private performance for all of these managers of Target in the United States. So every manager got flown out, right? Everyone's in the Target uniform. It was 2,000 or something. Taylor Swift singing 3 of her songs. It is the most awkward, cringeworthy performance because they are the wrong audience. They're not into it. They're like,
It's a
And
give
so-
and take of energy.
Target
Yeah.
is Taylor Swift's really popular. Let's have her perform for everyone. But
Yeah.
that looks painful. So
Yeah.
painful as the Rage.
It was pretty painful, and I kind of felt bad for those guys. It was just they're out there. That guy was giving it his all. He was into his
He was.
performance, and
He
I'm
really
just sitting
was.
here going, "Oh, poor baby."
Well, but I wouldn't even
Yeah.
say poor baby to him because you just lean into it.
And he did.
Who's gonna say anything to him if he's like, "That's what we do," and I did it.
No, he totally did.
Who cares if it wasn't the right? They paid me and I did it.
They got Twitter flack for 1 minute, and then it got
Yeah, it's
destroyed
yeah.
by all the other announcements, and they're going to be wiping their tears with $100,000.
Yeah, and I don't mean to be a dick, but the pre-show. Did you watch the pre-show for Bethesda at all? Because it was horrible.
It was very.
It was a community manager and their content manager over at Bethesda, and it was so obviously scripted, and they're not actors at all, and rightfully so. But you could even see them reading the teleprompter of what they had to say. It was just very cringy.
And I do want to make it clear that I very much respect them for doing that job.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of, not saying you're
Yeah.
doing this,
No,
but
that- yeah.
there is a lot of negativity in the world right now, and I think a big thing is,
Yeah.
even if I'm going to critique someone, which rightfully we should,
Yeah.
I will say nothing against them personally.
Yeah.
I'm just very sensitive to this in light of that whole Kelly Marie Tran thing at the start. So I'm kind of you know what? Even if I didn't like what you did, it's not against you as a person. Awesome for those 2 girls for doing that.
There's a difference
sure they're
between
great
what
at
happened
what
with
they do.
Kelly Marie Tran and what we're saying, though. They were being racist and sexist, whereas I'm just saying they were cringe.
I'm not criticizing
Yeah.
you. I'm just throwing that was
Yeah.
just
No, I'm just-
asterisk good for those girls.
Yeah.
And then now we can critique them.
Speaking of positivity, what was... I want 3 answers from each of you. So what was your favorite announcement that you knew it was coming? So you either knew it was coming or they elaborated on details. What was your favorite surprise announcement, and what would you have liked to have seen? Just overall E3.
Well, to be fair, I only watched Bethesda. I missed EA, which was upsetting. But I did read up on what EA said, and they're still working out the kinks with Dragon Age. So, like, I'm excited about that, but I'm also really freaking bummed that they don't have anything else to say than that, because they said that they've basically been saying that already. But in terms of Bethesda, surprisingly, like, I was more excited about Fallout 76 than I thought I was going to be, because no disclaimer here, like, I don't care about Fallout. I don't like that world, and like I played it, so like I understand it and I love RPGs, but it's just not my aesthetic. But I was watching the Fallout 76 gameplay, and I was like, if my friends play this, I would play it too. Like, it's one of those things where it's like I would totally enjoy it if there were other people around. Because one of my biggest complaints about Fallout was it just felt empty.
Yeah.
And like I was like, why do I care about building a fort that no one's going to see? At least with like Minecraft and stuff like that, I have the option of turning land on or opening it up as a server and people can come see my creations. Where like in Fallout, I was just like, so this means nothing. And you would think I'd have the same thing with Skyrim, but I have so many mods on that to make it feel populated that it's awesome. But yeah, so Fallout 76 was cool. I'll be excited about that if my friends get it and play it with me.
So we have to convince him.
Miranda will get it.
Yeah, Miranda, his girlfriend will get it, so that's perfect. And
What'd you
I love
think
her.
of Starfield? That like little cosmic teaser.
I need to see more in order to have an opinion.
Do you mean what did I think of the camera panning down on a planet and then the screen going black?
And it says
Seemed
Starfield,
cool.
no release year, no nothing.
Seemed awesome.
Like,
It's like, cool,
I'm not off board.
I'm not.
If they just explained a little bit about it, that would have been way better.
Yeah.
But I was excited to see, because I was actually getting really upset. I mean, he can attest to this. Like, I was getting really upset that no mention of Elder Scrolls 6 at all was happening, and that they had. I actually, before we go into that whole commercial about Skyrim being on.
With Keegan-Michael Key, right?
Yeah, I thought it was a joke. I thought they were trolling.
Yeah.
But it's real. That's actually happening.
All the cheese.
That's a real thing. The Alexa will have Skyrim, and you can play it with her voice.
I think that's
Is it
actually
kind of
really
like
cool.
Yeah.
D&D where it's like your
Yeah.
DM?
That's what they're trying to do. That's
So cool.
Well,
Yeah.
no, it's the DM. It's
Yeah.
like an AI DM.
Yeah, and it's telling you, and then you have to like make decisions. That's actually pretty fucking
Because he was
dope.
like, I'll take a health potion. It was like, you're out of health potions. He's like, I'll do this. You don't have enough thing to... Like,
Yeah.
I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Dungeons and Dragons hasn't explored that
They
idea.
might
I'm sure
be.
they are. I'm
Because
sure.
they could totally do an amazing version of that for like one of these or like
Yeah.
You know.
I was telling people today that I'm so impressed with how much Bethesda has just like fuck it and publishing like in the most like weirdest places. Like they really are the first ones to put they put their games on Nintendo Switch. Like why hasn't Blizzard done that yet? Like Overwatch should be on the Switch.
I agree.
Like there's no reason for it not to be. And it would be so dope. Can you imagine like going anywhere and then like your friends are like, "Hey, get on Overwatch." Okay, I will. Like
That'd be awesome.
that'd be dope. So I think it's really cool that Bethesda is trying all these different ways of publishing their games than just the usual console PC.
What'd you think of the Elder Scrolls? Is it Legends? The mobile
Blades.
Blades?
Blades looks dope. I don't like mobile games.
It looks a little intense for a mobile game.
Yeah, it's gonna drain the crap out of your battery. I'm gonna still play it.
Yeah.
But like,
To me, the biggest barrier of mobile gaming is that the phone battery doesn't support any kind of play. Like I play it. I would play that. I like playing Pokemon Go.
yeah,
I just can't play them because my phone battery dies in 15 minutes.
you have to keep it on the charger the whole time.
I need my, like, because the whole point of mobile gaming is like, you're in an airport, you're in the car,
Yeah.
you're over here, do something while you're waiting. And I love the idea of that, but I can't do that because I need my phone to then navigate me home, or like I can't
Yeah.
burn my battery. So like, they need to solve that problem, and then mobile gaming, because like, if you weren't worried about your battery, I'm sure you'd be playing that at the doctor's office.
Mm-hmm.
I
And,
think
like,
the difference is, like, I think successful mobile games have this pick up and play mentality where it can be 1 minute or 60 minutes.
Yeah.
So you just put in your order in and out, and then you don't know if it's 3 minutes, you don't know if it's 15 minutes until you get your burger or whatever.
Yeah.
If you're sitting down, you whip out a mobile game. I feel like getting into Blades would just be too intense. Like you just get wrapped up. It's almost like that console. Like I have to get to a save file.
Yeah.
Versus I think Angry Birds is like, I'll do one, I'm over it, or I can keep playing.
And on top of that, like I need my phone. I'm an adult. Like I work on my phone like constantly. I have apps on my phone for like work emails, or like I'm a social media manager, so I'm constantly updating social media through my phone. So and on top of that, if I ever have an emergency, I need to be able to call people, and that shit kills your battery so quick. And here's the thing, like again, why don't they just, I don't know, put it on the 3DS, put it on the Nintendo Switch, make their own mobile thing? Why does it have to be why do mobile games have to only be on phones?
I think for lowest barrier of entry.
There are a lot of people that play. We're maybe not that market, but there are
the children do, mostly.
Well, no, like Alicia and Ryan play
That's
that
true.
Marvel Strike Force. They're very into the mobile gaming,
Yeah.
I just purchased a peripheral. So.
Yeah, I'm not saying that like mobile gaming doesn't have a place or that I wouldn't do it. I was playing that Harry Potter game for a while, but it just wanted you to buy way too much shit in order to actually play it. And I was like, fuck this. But I want to play the Blades. It's just I don't like tiny screens. I want to play Blades on a big TV screen. That's what I bought a big TV for. Mm-hmm. I bought a phone to call people.
So speaking of screen, though, I did really I thought it was very cool that you could play it in landscape or vertical mode.
That is dope.
I think that's a really cool feature. I think more games need to do that.
I liked his like sassy, like you never know when you might need one hand. Like
I don't know if he meant it like that, but I think
that's how it came off.
The room
is that going to be the next My Body Is Ready? Is that going to be meme-ified? Has it been?
I'm sure it has. Every time you needed one hand. What were the questions originally?
Okay, 3 questions. So it was, what was your favorite game that like they added detail to, or like give gameplay or something that like you're already hyped for?
Elder Scrolls.
No, that's 76.
Okay. And then what is your favorite like brand new announcement that you didn't see coming? That you're just like, I need
Elder
that.
Scrolls for sure was like, after a while there, I was like, okay, maybe they're not going to announce it after all. Like, because it's always been one of those things that, like, I don't know if you've ever played Skyrim or any of the games before that, but basically after Elder Scrolls Online came out, the entire fandoms were like, are they going to make another single-player version of this franchise? Because, like, they have an MMORPG now.
Yeah.
They're making tons of money off of it. Why would they ever make another single-player game like Skyrim?
Yeah.
Even though people are still playing that game, and it came out in 2011.
Jeez.
Like, that's how good that game is. And so it was one of those things that people have been asking and asking and asking since 2011. Hey, when's the next one? When's the next one? So with Elder Scrolls Online, the thought was that it was dashed and it wasn't happening. So this announcement was huge in terms, like they didn't show anything.
Did they give a release year or like?
I don't think they did, and it doesn't even matter at this point because like, I was starting, even though I play Elder Scrolls Online, I was starting to hate it because I was like, you're the reason I'm not, like, we're not going to get another one. And I would really like to also play single player because it is different gameplay. An MMORPG is not a RPG. It's different. It's different gameplay, and I love both.
Play guilt-free now.
Yeah. I love mods. So, yeah, that was a pretty dope one.
Nice.
I say you go next.
Okay.
I have, like, a lot of thoughts. So, like, I want you to go. And then let me organize my thoughts, and then I'll go after you.
My surprise announcement that I could have never seen coming, but I'm so stoked.
Can I add to that?
Yeah.
I mean like to the question that I want you to, because I'm curious about this with both of you. Maybe it's either part of that question or a separate question, but like, kind of what surprised you, but what game kind of caught you off guard in how much you ended up wanting it afterwards? So like not a game that you were like, I knew I wanted this. I still wanted after seeing it. What thing was like you had no interest in it? I think yours is kind of Fallout, right? Like Fallout 76. So that kind of thing where you like, and it wasn't even on my radar, and then it really they won me over.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh yeah,
that game is just so gorgeous. We were watching it together, and I think what really caught us was the details. So it was the wind going. It was just seeing the folded steel on the katana, the blood dripping down, the expressions. That one was just didn't know I needed it, and then in that 11-minute gameplay trailer, I'm like, you got my $60. Like, done. Mm-hmm. I think a teaser that they just showed just kind of cinematic footage of was Session. I'm a huge skate fan, like EA Skate, and I thought that franchise was dead. I thought since Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 came out 2 years ago and completely bombed, I thought the skateboarding and music genre were just dead. Mm-hmm. But I'm so excited that like that's coming out. I can wait for years, doesn't matter. I just need it. What I'd like to see, and we very may well see tomorrow, is N64 Classic Edition, like the little mini. They've done NES Classic, they've done SNES Classic. I need N64 Classic. The challenge there that I've been reading on is a lot of those games are licensed games. So they're third-party games that have been ported to the N64, and they can't get the rights for those. So they either could create that and do Super Smash Brothers, Mario 64, Zelda, but we're not going to see some of like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater or any of those like real classics. GoldenEye we couldn't even see. That's owned by Rare, which is sold to Microsoft.
Damn.
But regardless, I would love to see that. And then overall, like my winning so far, Last of Us Part 2. It was so gorgeous. Last of Us is my favorite single player game. And when I just saw the gameplay footage of it, I'm like, yes, I need it. When does it come out? No release window.
Did you see that footage?
I did
That was
brutal and gorgeous.
That was unquestionably the best thing in the show so far.
They put out a teaser like a while ago that I really liked, but
this is the first like game engine,
this is gameplay
footage.
It's unlike any and I without it, like not even exaggeration. Like I know I blow things up. This is unlike anything I've ever seen in a video game. Like, and
you're not even a fan of the first.
And I'm not even a fan of the first. Like she gets shot in the shoulder, and like any other game when your character gets shot, you kind of just do like a generic like and then blood spurts out. Hers like where she got shot, she gets knocked back. And then grabs her shoulder, and then all her movement after that, she's running, holding her shoulder. Yeah. And like leaping over
so
things.
So like Left 4 Dead.
And like grunting, like having holding her shoulder. And then she's shooting this guy with a bow and arrow. The first, like enemies, like never show facial expression, like NPCs when they're getting hit. They're just coming at you. The first arrow she fires into the guy, he goes, ugh. The second arrow she fires into the guy, he goes, ah. The last one she fires into the guy, he goes, ah, and then he falls to the ground. Like the 3 levels of facial expression for the different degree of wound.
Yeah.
I've just never, like, I felt like I was watching a movie because I've never seen an NPC make different facial expressions when you're hitting them. It was, you're going to have to watch it because it was unbelievable.
It's just like, you can feel the weight of all of her steps. You can feel the breeze of the wind and like the textures. I think they have lighting. They just like Naughty Dog slays on like environment textures and lighting.
And I think you touched on something where like you could feel it. I could feel every move, every action felt heavy or like felt like impactful.
Yeah.
In the way that like in real life, like if I drop this, like that's an action. Like that's we all felt that. Like that was heavy. In a game. In most other action games, you know, your Assassin's Creed, you're not to knock these games, but like when you're sitting there slashing an NPC and over and over again, it just feels like a plushy bag, like you're just slashing a sack, and there's no weight to each swing and each movement. This was like every gunshot was like visceral, like you felt it. Every swing of a melee weapon, every knife stroke, you felt it. Like I don't know how to describe it. It was like you'll see.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
And I don't like. That was, I guess this is kind of segueing into my, or segueing into my thoughts on it. But like, in terms of like the one that caught me off guard the most, like it would have been Fallout if we had this conversation yesterday. But I've never given a shit about The Last of Us. I don't like zombie games. I'm not into that post-apocalyptic stuff that much. Like, never played the first one, never wanted to play the first one. After seeing that, I was like, I need that game.
Yeah.
Like, I need to play that game. I can't not play that game. Which was crazy. I did not expect. If you had told me of all the things being released,
that's success.
In an E3 that included Assassin's Creed in Greece, a new Halo game, a new Gears of War game,
and Fox's Legend of Zelda, Minecraft molded into one game.
If you had told me that,
what?
Tunic.
Oh,
it's that game I showed you.
It's Minecraftian too.
It's like
that's like little blocks and I don't know if you build stuff, but But anyway, so that was the one that caught me off guard the most. The one that I was like. Love, obviously, was Halo Infinite. I don't know what it is, but I just liked the vibe of it.
Just a cinematic trailer. Yeah, it was just like nice. Vistas, and then you saw like the leg of Master Chief. What concerned me is we didn't even get a release year to it. So usually they do 2019, holiday 2019. So I would anticipate we're over 2 years away.
Yeah. I'm just glad that they announced it because a lot of people were saying like 100% guaranteed the new Halo is coming, and I was like, I mean, you guys know more about this stuff than I do because you're industry analysts, but like, there's been not a word about Halo 6, and I was like starting to get worried that they weren't going to do it because that's my favorite game of all time, and so I just was relieved that it happened. So like I didn't have extra energy to like critique it and be like, oh, I wish I'd gotten more, because I was just like, oh, thank God that it's at least a thing. Now here's what I'm curious about is if that name will stick in that form, because when they announced Halo 5, the E3 trailer was just Halo. I think it actually just said Halo, or it might have said Halo Guardians, and then the final title ended up being Halo 5 Guardians, and it was the first game in the series to have a number and a subheading. So I'm curious if this will stick with Halo Infinite, or if it'll be Halo 6 Infinite eventually. Like if eventually when it gets more polished, because this very much like rang of the Halo 5 announcement trailer at E3 way back when, because it was the same kind of like really ambiguous, like some of the elements from that made it into the final game but really had nothing to do with it. So like I'm curious to see what this ends up looking like, if it's a different kind of Halo game experience, or if it's just like
Halo Wars.
Yeah.
It's what's interesting is 343 has been on a 3-year game cycle, same as Bungie. So we got Halo 3 years later, Halo 2 3 years later, Halo 3, Halo 4, Halo 5, and in between we got the Halo Wars and everything. I mean, unless this is coming out in November, holiday of this year, they're going to take a lot more time on this.
Oh, this isn't coming out anytime soon.
But the good thing is 343 made a promise after Guardians that they would add split screen, like couch split screen. I'm like, I don't know why you made a game without that. I think it's a little greedy or whatever, but I'm glad they're adding that.
So I think this Halo game will have a proper showing next year at E3.
Yeah.
I agree.
And then I think it'll come out that November.
I agree.
Maybe. What did you feel about, I know you played Mass Effect, but did you ever play Mass Effect?
I didn't.
What did you feel about EA announcing that they're revisiting Mass Effect?
I actually didn't see E3, so I don't know anything about it. Or I'm sorry,
EA's.
Did they say that?
So they're talking about revisiting Mass Effect. Revisiting that storyline. I don't think, I only read a little bit of the article because I was in transit, but I was reading that, and it's something that they're also revisiting possibly, which is interesting because a lot of people hated the ending of Mass Effect. So I'm wondering how they could revisit that storyline that's closed, and then
Well, it's less about that. It's what people didn't like that ending, but what really was like the whole Mass Effect getting put to the side was Andromeda being such a clusterfuck of a release. Like people, they've talked about it now, having been post-release. There was like 90% of that game didn't make it into that game. Like they were planning a lot of big things, and just like corporate move arounds and all these different things made it like just a horrendously messy release. And it was kind of like Destiny, where it was just like,
to be honest, I forgot about Andromeda.
Yeah, it was like part of a game, and it was like after that they kind of were like, you know what, like we're gonna step back from this for a while and like figure out, like we're gonna come back to this later. So it sounds like they might be figuring it out, which I love. Mass Effect is like my second favorite game next to Halo.
Yeah.
So like any news in that regard is good for me, I think. Another one that was huge for me that was a surprise was Beyond Good and Evil 2, which like I kind of knew about going in because I remember the trailer that they dropped at the last
heist
E3
with the chimp,
and then like watching gameplay footage of last E3 and then seeing this gameplay footage. I think this is gonna be one of the best games ever made. Like I was telling you a little bit about it, but like there's like you're in a spaceship and you can seamlessly transition between outer space and planets. Like you can just go.
Oh, like Freelancer.
Down. Like it's. Yeah, I guess, kind of like
Have you played Freelancer?
No, but I've seen, like, video of it, and it's kind of, it's like that, but it's like, this is, like, has a kind of fantasy vibe. I don't know, it just looks really cool, and the cinematics look really cool, and I'm very intrigued by the visuals, and how it seems to be mixing. It's very Star Wars-y in that it seems to be mixing, like, lo-fi, like, lived-in world with high technology and sci-fi. So
I'm into that. I'm into that a lot. I was thinking about that because we were talking about how a lot of the Bethesda games look the same because they're all like in a like kind of other than obviously Elder Scrolls, they're all in the like sci-fi environment, and I was like, man, the sci-fi genre just like it's all like very clean, very like modern. Yeah. It's always like it always feels like you're in a hospital when you enter a sci-fi movie or a sci-fi game or anything. It's always so clean and everything's sterile. So straight in. Yeah. And I know you and I have talked about how Star Wars is different in that aspect because everything feels so lived in. But what I really would love to see, and I was thinking about it, and Star Wars does do this to an extent, but I would like to see it even further, which is absolutely fantasy meets sci-fi in a futuristic way, including like multiple worlds, and we kind of get that with aliens and stuff in Star Wars, and like obviously we have like, you know, the Jedi weapons, which are very obviously archaic.
Valerian, maybe? Or is
Valerian, yeah. I guess you could do that. They would need to make more on that franchise for it to become like a thing, but I would just be interested to see how those play together a little bit more, and I think people need to explore that.
I think what would be really cool, that kind of would be what you're talking about, is, you know, the movie Bright?
Yeah.
And how that was like what if, you know, Lord of the Rings was brought into present day?
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be like, what if the present day Bright universe was pushed into sci-fi?
Yeah.
What would a
I was thinking that as I was
Battlestar
explaining.
Galactica, maybe?
But like that doesn't have like elves and orcs and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that very much had like magic.
So like true fantasy.
Like what if
True.
true fantasy was in like the year 2079? Like,
Yeah,
what if
cool.
true fantasy was elves, orcs, dwarves, and humans all living with magic still a thing, but also technology?
I mean, I guess we kind of get that a little bit with Thor.
A
Like
little
a little
bit,
bit, because we've got
yeah.
elves, we have dwarves, like we have those elements, but it's not widely explored because
Right.
it's the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and they can
Right.
only go so far in that.
It's still set present day. I mean, I guess the sci-fi. I guess the Ragnarok really kind of merged the Guardians of the Galaxy Ragnarok thing is kind of like towing that line and blurring the line between magic and
Yeah.
high tech.
Like they're doing it. It's just like I would love to see more of it, and outside of like an already existing franchise, so it has room to breathe and grow.
Doug House's Shadowrun. I forgot. That's
Oh, shit.
that's like that. That might be one of the few things that did kind of do that.
Mm-hmm.
Which I love Shadowrun. Shadowrun was like a lot of fun. The way it was. You remember Shadowrun, the video game?
Yeah, I think I do. I think I played it and got frustrated and put it down.
Speaking of like sci-fi games, what do you guys think of Cyberpunk 2077?
Eh.
I mean,
From-
they didn't show any gameplay. It's hard for me to judge things based on cinematic trailers because I'm like, yeah, this looks great. This is a really cool trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, what's the game?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what the game is. It's just like CD Projekt Red, who made the Witcher series. They're so good to their fans. They have massive expansions. They make like 40% of a new game and sell it for $19.99 as DLC.
Mm-hmm.
I just love that they're just like diving into the sci-fi genre. So it looked really bizarre, but I'm like, you do you, and I'll follow you.
Mm.
So it was cool.
You're a loyal fan.
The aesthetic, very cool. It was like futuristic,
Yeah.
retro 80s.
Yeah.
So
It almost gave me like a cleaner version of like the underworld of Coruscant or something.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's like very neon, almost Blade Runner-esque,
Like a
but
more
not
colorful
post-apocalyptic. Yeah.
like a more
Yeah.
almost a more cartoony version.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think we kind of, well, you kind of touched on it, but what are we all kind of collectively hoping, expecting out of Nintendo tomorrow?
I think they pulled all their punches on Pokemon. Like
Yeah.
I think like they're gonna give us a little bit more, but I think they had a brand new announcement like a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
So what was
Yeah.
that event?
It was just their own.
Like
Like
their
they
own,
tweeted
like-
from the Pokemon company, Nintendo, like we have a special
Yeah.
announcement. They did a little VOD with all these new announcements. So
Mm.
I think it's gonna be more focused on third party games, Switch in general. But I think the Pokemon announcements are all kind of gone.
Good.
How crazy would it be if they dropped the core RPG? What if they were just like, here it is tomorrow? By the way, surprise.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be pretty cool.
Every Switch everywhere would be sold out because
Yeah.
I'd be buying them all.
Yeah.
I think that every Switch, I was talking to our friend Ryan about this. I think if you want a Nintendo Switch for Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, I'd say buy it 2-3 months in advance. I
Yeah.
think once those come out, there's going to be a lot of people like us that's a console seller.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
banking on this. I'm banking on this post E3 price drop that you promised me on the Switch. It's
No,
really
I didn't promise. I just
So
said
I'm
like in
like,
Japan they're
I
offering better deals.
remember
Yeah.
the conversation exactly.
I think-
you said, I promise you that this will be on discount, 50% off after E3, and if I'm wrong, you can serve up my genitalia as an iced dessert.
Jesus.
That was the
I was
verbatim,
imagining it'd be served warm, but
quote for quote, verbatim, that was the conversation we had.
Yeah, I
and
remember
said,
this.
I agree with
And I
that.
remember Julian said he would literally choke on your served up chode if you were wrong. So.
Genitalia. I would choke on it, though.
moving on, Super Smash Bros. Switch is going to have a huge showcase. I think
Oh,
gonna
that's
be,
what they could announce.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's already announced, but
Or,
they're,
I mean,
they're going
like-
to show like gameplay. They already said it's playable at E3.
That's what
Yeah.
they could debut. I forgot about that.
I'm really excited about that. And then like all the characters they've been lending, like Ryu, Snake,
Mm-hmm.
Mega Man, all these other characters. So I'm excited.
They
Like
need to bring Goku or like Dragon Ball into the Super
be
Smash
awesome.
Brothers universe.
Yeah.
They could announce the Zelda DLC. They could announce some more Breath of the Wild DLC. I
Yep,
can see that
yep.
happening.
That's probably gonna happen.
That would be.
Yeah.
I think.
Is it time for another Mario Kart, do you think?
Oh, probably.
8 came out on, what, the Wii U?
That was
right
the
when
Wii
it
U
came
that got
out?
ported over to the.
Yeah.
So that could be a thing.
Can some of their franchises just die already? I'm so over it.
Or what about if they, like, turned into a Mario sports game, where it had, kind of like they had it on Nintendo DS, but it has
Mario.
baseball and soccer and Mario Kart and tennis, but they're all standalone games.
Yeah.
You know what I want? Two things. The first one I forgot. The
World
second one
domination.
is
Your own Infinity Gauntlet. Your own
yes.
personal Fox.
crap. I want I got it. I want a new Star Fox game. 3 things.
Okay,
I
yeah.
want a new Star Fox game. I want a new Mario Party
Ooh.
with Switch. Switch is so perfectly
That
built
is.
for Mario
That
Party.
is,
It's
absolutely.
crazy. I want a new Star Fox game. I want a new Mario Party, and I want. Damn it! I keep forgetting all the things in different orders. What was the third thing that I wanted?
Pokemon Stadium
Tell me
mini games.
right now.
Pokemon Stadium would be dope.
would be really cool. Crap! What was it?
But even better, like, just be able to fight your Pokemon against other people. That's basically Pokemon Stadium. Like, you go out in the world and
Good
collect them,
visuals,
and
yeah.
then you fight them.
Well, I guess that's kind of Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee.
Yeah, so I think you already got your stadium.
Damn. Star Fox? What was the second one? I'm so tired of like forgetting things.
That's okay.
Star Fox?
You can come back to it.
Mario Party.
Metroid? Oh, they already announced a new Metroid that's coming last E3.
Not Metroid.
So
It
we'll
was
probably
something-
get some new details.
Something with the mobile thing. Mario Kart, you said no. Damn it. This is really frustrating.
Pokemon
It'll
RPG?
come back to you.
Well, Pokemon, yeah, that would be cool, but never mind. Just keep talking and I'll think of it.
Okay. I think that's about it. I don't
Yeah.
think Julian is ever going to get a chance.
Yeah.
Sign
Keep
off.
talking.
3, 2, 1, go.
Bagel of bombs.
Okay.
You guys'
3,
faces.
2, 1. Well, since we're in that vein.
They can't all be sounds. 3, 2, 1.
I already did it.
Okay, that was yours.
Wait, do I get a redo?
No.
If anyone hasn't seen that video, which is most likely...
We coordinated like the end of that really well.
Oh, really quick. Iligo said he wasn't a big gamer, but he wanted to get into it. I told him to give him recommendations. Each one of us give him one game recommendation as like...
On like what?
Overwatch.
Just that, like, if you want to start playing video games, I would recommend this one game.
Overwatch.
Overwatch?
Pokemon. I'd say traditional play Fire Red, Leaf Green.
I'll go different genre. If you're going for a shooter, I would say Halo. Probably the most you like.
Yeah, Halo's great.
Beginner friendly shooter.
Nice.
What else?
It's pretty hard. Halo, the first ones, like, I had a hard time with the second
But they're more friendly.
game's
Call of Duty is
campaign.
really hard.
If you're playing,
yeah.
if you're playing a multiplayer Halo game, it's like merging on a freeway. Like everyone is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like Call of Duty is, and it's way easier
Oh,
to
and
die.
that-
Call, like
that-
that's
yeah.
the thing. Like,
Call of Duty's
and Gears of War is
not
really hard.
friendly.
I think Halo.
Overwatch is pretty friendly though.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
users.
Oh, I guess you did say shooter. Anyway, thanks for joining us, guys.
Yeah.
This was our E3 reactions. Be curious to see what happens tomorrow with Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, tune in next week for another podcast, another cast for pods, another Podbean.
Pot of Wales.
Turn into our
Prince of Wales. Whale, you go to prom with me?
Prince of Thieves,
Nice.
thieving guild, gilded steel,
Real steel.
steal yo girl. I'm out.
Well done.
Next week is just all word association. It's the whole podcast.
All right.
See you later, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.